Hello and welcome back to Chengi's World. It's Men Talk Monday and I am here for you with all the good. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about when he's stringing you along, how to know he's stringing you along, and what you do when a man is stringing you along, girl. Hello, none of that, okay? So if you want to know what to do, how to recognize when a man is stringing you along, and just some of the reasons why men do it, stick around. For those of you who are coming back to my channel, thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome to Chengi's World. I am Chengi and you, my precious one, are my world. So don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and join this party because it is on poppin'. Okie dokie. So stringing along, according to the dictionary of the Cheng, means somebody who is not serious about or interested in or happy about what is available to him. Okay, we only string people along when we don't want that, but we can't get better, or we feel we can't get better, or we're waiting on better. Okay, so I will date him so that I'm not alone, or because quite frankly I couldn't be with that guy. I mean, guys like that. So this one is here, he's giving me some attention, so let's just keep this one going ahead. I will give this one air, but not enough oxygen for him to feel that it's on and popping. Okay, so that's what we do when we string people along and when men are stringing us along. When you're being strung along, you are receiving air. There's air in the relationship, but not enough oxygen in that air for that relationship to pick up momentum and to go anywhere. Okay, and being strung along is what I call time wasting. So how are the ways that any one of you, my angels who watch Chengi's World, should know that you are high value, that you are deserving of somebody who is completely 100% all in. Okay, so the person that you should be dealing with right now in your life is somebody who is 100% in. You shouldn't be content with somebody who will accept you because usually girls who are your size or your shape or your form or your color don't get to have a chance with a guy like that. And if I'm gonna have a guy like that, I'm gonna let him string me along. I'm gonna let him call when he wants, do what he likes, and do just enough to keep me here, but nothing more to move things forward. Okay, I know he probably has other interests. He won't really put down roots. He won't really commit. He won't, all of that. But you can't kind of say he's not in, he's not out. But you know that if you find yourself in that situation, that person is not wholeheartedly in. When a man is wholeheartedly in, and this goes for you too, boys, for those of you watching, when a woman is wholeheartedly in, they are wholeheartedly in. They don't hold back a little bit for themselves. They give over of themselves everything. And you know 100% that I am this man's priority. I am in this man's plan for his life. I am important to this person. Okay, so when you are not getting any of that, if that is not what you are receiving in all of the time that you're with this person, then they are literally stringing you along. Now, stringing along can happen at every stage of any relationship. Married people can string each other along. When the marriage is over, nobody wants to be here. He doesn't want to be here anymore. He's showing you in every way, shape, or form, but he's just stringing things along because he doesn't want to take the formality of a divorce, right? That is a form of stringing along. People in long-term relationships can be strung along. I met a gentleman who said, what he would do is when a woman started doing the where are we going thing after a few years or, at a certain time, he'd buy her a ring, put it on her finger, and forget about it, because actually what he was doing was stringing her along. He had no intention of marrying her. He just wanted her to shut up, okay? But it's just that he hadn't found what he really wanted to commit to. And if she made a fuss about when is the wedding date going to be, at that point he would end it. And he did that until his current wife nipped it in the bud. So I love that story. Okay, but that was a form of stringing along. There are a lot of women I've met recently who are wearing engagement rings and, oh, I'm engaged. How long have you been engaged? 8 years. Babe, no. You're not engaged. You are having somebody waste your time. He's stringing you along, okay? Because trust me, he can cancel that engagement and marry somebody else. It's happened so many times where men will engage a woman, not follow through, and marry another woman straight up. Okay, we allow ourselves to have our time wasted way too much. Okay, you know how I feel about time wasting. Okay, so you know, you can be strung along at the very beginning of a relationship where a guy is dating multiple women, but he kind of gives you enough oxygen for you to hang around and maybe give him another date in a few months' time. Okay, or you are in an exclusive relationship, but actually you don't feel he's all in. Okay, the reality is, if somebody is not all in, they're kind of stringing you along. And that's something that you feel in your soul, in your instinct, somewhere in the deep parts of your heart. You feel like, okay, this person is not all in. They've got one foot in and one foot out, and therefore you are being strung along. Okay, let's call a spade, not an agricultural instrument, said one preacher. Yes, okay, we're not going to give it other names. We're going to call it what it is. Okay. So in this situation, obviously, then what do you do about being strung along? What do you do when you feel like, okay, I just feel like there's no momentum, there's no forward trajectory, and there's no buy-in? Like, there's a deposit, but the rest of the money is not coming, right? So what do? You have the uncomfortable conversation. Okay. I always advise to never leave anything in the darkness. Darkness is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing because the devil can stay there unseen. If you're in darkness, you can throw things and nobody will ever know where they come from. Darkness is something that works perfectly well for deception, okay? And so one of the things I always say, and will always say, and in every aspect, in every area of your life, wherever there's confusion, uncertainty, usually that is a form of darkness. It means that it's possible for you to be deceived. But the moment you shine your light into any dark place, the moment you require the other person to you know, if you shine your torch in darkness and somebody's hiding there, they're forced to show themselves, even if they don't want to. The moment that you shine your torch in their face and say, oh, there you are, they have to either run, they have to fight or flight, they have to explain themselves. There's something about switching on the lights, and we don't do it as women because we're afraid of being left. And you have to understand that men are conscious of the inherent thing in a woman to be dumped, okay? We are so afraid of a man changing his mind, pushing him away, running him off, all of these terms that we use, that we in fact allow them to waste our time, right? And get in the way of the possibility of us meeting somebody who could actually be serious about us and actually have interest and we could actually fall in love with. Okay, so we need to first deal with that fear. You need to address that fear and the root of that fear. Where does that fear come from? What is so bad with somebody walking away? How do we reflect upon rejection? Rejection is very, very, very rarely to do with the person being rejected. It has more to do with the person doing the rejecting. Often it's what they cannot live with. There's somebody out there who can live with you and you're crazy. Trust me. There's somebody out there who will understand you're crazy and not think anything of it. And you don't have to change into this, metamorphosize into this other personality or this other human being. So yes, it may be something that you do all the time, but trust me, they may have left you because you do something all the time, but there's somebody who's going to be turned on by that thing. So often rejection is not a reflection of us being broken and unworthy. And when you confront somebody and they run away, number one, it might be how you did it, okay? Nobody wants to be in a situation where they're confronted and dealt with in a way that is disrespectful, in a way that makes them feel small, in a way that makes them feel like they're standing before a judge and a courtroom, okay? Nobody wants that experience for themselves. So of course, a man's gonna run because of how you were addressing the situation. But if you address it in a way that is respectful, then he either will run, which is what you want. You want people to leave you who have nothing to offer you, ladies. You want men to bow out of the race who are not worthy of you. That is a compliment. It is a good thing, okay? And if he is there to stay, if he is there to really make something of you, he's gonna adjust. Trust me, sometimes it's because there has been no standard set, right? So here's what you do. You have the conversation. You say to him, I would like to have a conversation with you about something that has been bothering, or something that is about something that I've been feeling lately in our relationship. When is a good time for us to have this conversation? You know the format, right? You ask for that permission. When you've received that permission, you say, I feel that you are stringing me along. I feel like you're not all in. That may not be your intention. Of course, let's not forget the caress. We're going to caress him. We're going to let him know that he's a great guy, that he's, you enjoy his company, you love having him in your life, blah, 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 blah. You're going to pull out those beautiful compliments that are true. We're not going to make them up. They're true, sincere, from the heart. And then you're going to say, however, I feel you're stringing me along, and I'm not up for that. So I feel that I need to let you go and explore whatever it is that is on your heart to explore. Go and find that which is on your heart to explore, because I want you to be happy. I want you to be in this relationship happy, and I feel you're not happy. I feel there's something more, something else that you would want, and I don't want to stand in the way of that. So I'm just going to leave you to go be happy. Okay, now you're saying, I am not letting him go. Here's the thing. You lost him anyway. A man who is stringing you along has left you anyway. It is only a matter of time. It is only a matter of time before something that he really, really wants walks through the door and your history. But at this point, you cannot control the narrative. At this point, you cannot choose for yourself, right? You are investing in something that is going nowhere. And you say, and it's up to him, and you say to him, I feel that this is what I need to do so that you can go and find what you really want. However, I need you to know that when you are ready, and if I am still available, I will still be open to having a relationship with you. That is going to make him know that this is an unacceptable deal breaker. He has to go and think about it, own up to why he is not 100% all in. If it's financial, if it's whatever, this is the time for him to own up. Because at this point, you need to lay it down, and you need to be sure and confident. And we go back to self-esteem and self-worth. We go back to believing that it is raining men, hallelujah, that there is no lack, that the person that you are entertaining right now who is stringing you along is somebody else's prince, but also that your Prince Charming is waiting right behind him or the other guy to meet you. You are only postponing your own happiness when you allow this behavior to go on. When you let it go unaddressed. When you don't give it the priority that it deserves to be on. Now, for those of you who are in the dating stage and you want to prevent any kind of stringing along, hot and cold, moving forward, it's really very important that you set your standard very clearly. I recommend that, you're out for dinner and, you're talking about, whatever you're talking about. I always used to bring up a girlfriend of mine who, has A, B, C, and D happening to them, and how I would never tolerate that. For me, it would be a deal breaker, non-starter, okay? You can use an example of a third party. Usually when you're out dating, you usually talk about dating and the dating world and how things are on the dating world. And that is your opportunity to say, well, I understand why some women would hang on or want to do that, but for me, it would be a complete deal breaker. And that's something that you can do very early on to let that person know that if they're going to engage with you, they have to be all in. But if they're here just to play, then they probably won't make the call the next day. You need to be comfortable with rejection. You need to be comfortable with people walking away for your standards, because your standards will call your king. Your standards will make your king recognize you. A king knows when he's dealing with a queen. He knows a woman with standards. He knows a woman who just doesn't let men do what they like, or just doesn't allow men into her life. A woman who's discerning. He is waiting to meet his queen. And you are not a queen if you allow men to treat you some kind of way, because they leave an energetic read in your spirit that puts off the king. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful and useful. I look forward to seeing you again in my next video. Take care of you. If you want to work with me one-on-one, you know where to find me in the description box. I love you lots. Take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye now.